So I've been realizing lately when I ask a question to the universe and then just wait, I get answers like, you know, what I need to know to answer that question comes. Um, and something I've recently been contemplating is the difference between fear and intuition. And not intuition like in comparison to sensing, more of a trusting, like non logical knowing, really. In fact, even at the end of last year, I wrote this little note to myself in my journal saying, this year I'm going to play double dutch with life, watching, understanding the flow of it, trusting my inner voice, not needing a logical explanation, not feeling beholden to provide a logical explanation, allowing myself to emerge in my knowing and allowing that wisdom to flow. And then having the peace and humility that it's not a dogmatic opinion, but an expression of the infinite. Um, what does that mean, really, right? Like, so there's this idea that I got in my head at one point that things have to be, provable. And and I really do. I mentioned it in a video a little over a year ago, about this interview that I saw with Deepak Chopra and Sam Harris. And Sam Harris was all like, Deepak Chopra was using like quantum physics terms to describe metaphysical concepts, and Sam Harris like really ripped him a new one for it. And was really careful not to do that. I saw people using dogmatic religious beliefs to even make laws that really impede on people's freedoms. So I really wanted to make sure that everything that I was saying, everything that I was believing, could be explained. That it was just a feeling that you had, that it wasn't real, or that it wasn't worth anything. And I'm realizing that the world really needs a little bit of that, and there's a wisdom that I think can come from poetry, basically. And in doing that, it's, trusting when I am getting an inner knowing about something. And even saying this, it sounds weird, I know. Because again, I'm going off of this, it has to be proven thing. But, I know for a fact that there's a lot of times where I'll be like, I don't need to go do that because I'm afraid of it. And I'm really trying to be able to trust my gut instinct more. I'm trying to really understand what is the difference between fear and intuition. So, like, when I have a knowing, a solid knowing that I can't logically explain but is true, versus I'm just afraid of something. And I have found recently that, well, I put it this way. I said that fear grips and intuition releases. So the energy behind fear is it's like, even if it's stopping you from going away, it's like feels like you're getting pulled back, as opposed to if you know something to be true, there is no grip to it. You're not attached to the idea, you're not attached to losing the idea, there's no attachment to it. You are free. That, I believe, is the difference between fear and right brain wisdom. And it's not to say that all fear is unfounded. Sometimes fear can be a way to keep you safe. But sometimes fear can go overboard, and there is nothing really that you have to stay safe from. And even if you recognize that, you can walk through it. If you are in a state of fear, you can at least ask yourself, or this was what I'm finding, that if I am in a state of fear, I can at least pause and ask myself if this is true, if this is really unsafe, because then I can lean into the detached intuition, the wisdom of what is really coming through. And I really do think there is information that is coming through. It is just not information that can be explained. You can explain it in all sorts of wooey ways. But it could just be you can't put together the details of why you know this to be true. And I'm still on the fence about what implications it could have to follow your gut instinct about something when it could hurt somebody else. And I think it really comes back to that humility, over knowing that your intuition is, or your gut instinct is just one expression of an infinite universe. It is just one opinion in a sea of opinions. I think it's when people get strict that what they are saying is true, is the only truth that exists. That's where it can be dangerous. That is not to say that you can't have wisdom that comes through, and a knowing and a explanation of something where you can't build some kind of a logical proof over it. And I think the world is hungry for that. And the more I lean into that, the more freedom I am finding. I'm really interested to see where this goes. So I am really going to make an effort to continue to see when I am gripped by fear and allowing myself to move through that, so that I can get to the point where I am actually bringing in information that I can't logically express. Like this. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. It was a profound realization for me, and maybe somebody who sees this, it will spark something in them, and I think it's maybe worth sharing. Thanks. I'll talk to you next time.